Hello and welcome to the Rotherham United podcast. We have our fourth defeat in a row to look at, but blooming hell, there was a lot to digest and talk about from that game against Barnsley on Saturday afternoon. We're going to do that. We're also going to look ahead to another tough game Tuesday against another one of the confirmed playoff teams, Brentford, live on Sky again. Mixed with me as we were for the live show yesterday. Hello, Michael.
Hello.
And Benjamin, people have been eagerly anticipating listening to you today. So thank you very much for being with us, Ben.
You're welcome.
So there's plenty to talk about from a Rotherham United perspective. Conspiracy theories, decisions, missed chances. We're going to try and cover all of that as much as we can today, in as much detail as we can. And yeah, it's going to be interesting. So 1-0 loss. Ben, start with the overall game before we get into any specifics. We were, other than putting the ball in the back of the net, which I know I'm fully aware is the most important part, we were the better team, weren't we?
Yeah, they were. I like Barnsley, but they were rubbish. I'm sorry, they were crap. I don't know how they're up there. I like Barnsley. I want them to go up, but they were not very good. We dominated. I think they had one shot throughout the whole thing, probably. So I think we dominated and should have won. Definitely should have won that game. No doubt about it.
I agree, Mick.
Yeah, I mean, what else can you say? I mean, we had so many chances, some of which were literally tap-ins. Some of them were slightly a bit more difficult. We created loads. We had far more of the ball. I mean, I've not seen the possession stats. I don't know whether they bear that out, but we certainly felt like we had far more of the ball. And realistically, we were the only team that were pushing to score a goal for the full 90 minutes. So yeah, we were certainly the better team. Hugely disappointing result, to be honest with you. We've been saying it for a few weeks now. You know, we've got to start hitting the back of the net. And we're creating loads. And it's just not happening. It's just not happening at the moment. Sometimes due to, goalkeepers having good games or whatever. But a lot of the time, it's due to just poor technique, poor finishing, not good enough in front of goal.
Barnsley put a tweet yesterday, something along the lines of praising their goalkeeper, which is fine, but he didn't do anything special. Every chance that we had was either straight down his throat or off target. Ben, it wasn't a fantastic goalkeeping display. It was a poor finishing display more than the other one.
Did he even make a save apart from Chio?
Well, the Chio one in the first half. There were Chio one in the second half, which he scuffed. And then the Chio one on the angle as well. So 3 Chio chances, I think.
What? Oh, the first Chio shot, which was straight down his neck that I could have saved. That one.
Yeah.
The second one, it should have buried. The third one. The third one.
Well, the second one was when it was at the angle when he could have gone down for a penalty.
Oh, what? Yeah, that's another chance, actually. We should have won 3-1. I was thinking 2-1.
Well,
should have scored that.
Potentially, but also Freddie should have scored his chance. Smith should have scored his chance, or Smith should have at least hit the target. It's frustrating that we're talking about these bits because we should be talking about the fact that the performance was absolutely on point. Absolutely on point, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Absolutely. They looked at how Barnsley played and we just completely nullified the way that they play. And dominated the game, and it's so disappointing that they've walked away with nothing. And I guess we can blame ourselves for that, for not taking those chances.
Absolutely.
But we've got to take them. We've got to take them. We've been saying it for weeks now. We should be out of sight. We should be absolutely out of sight of this relegation battle. If only we took 50% of the chances that we're creating. You know what I mean? 10%. Yeah. I'll take 10% at the moment. It's just I don't know. I don't know whether it's a mental issue or just a purely ability. I don't know. But it's got to change. We've only got 4 games to change it.
Yeah, I agree. Well, from a defensive point of view, Ben, Barnsley are heralded as a very, very strong physical team. Corley Woodrow's a big lad. DK is obviously a big lad. And obviously Carlton Morris as well. But defensively, again, I'll say again, we were absolutely on point. Richard Wood made his 550th career appearance yesterday.
Our defence or their defence?
Our defence.
Our defence.
And you could see every one of those 550 games worth of experience used by Woody yesterday against DK because he just had him in his pocket, didn't he?
I didn't think he did out all game. I forgot he was playing until you mentioned it. He's not special against Woody. He just didn't. Woody had him in his back pocket. McDonald helped out a little bit, bringing him down, getting some cheeky fouls on him, which I loved. He got basically... He got, what's the word? He got Englished, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Englishized.
I'm not sure that's a word, but I like it.
There's no other word for it. But yeah, he wouldn't have had that in America. I can bet my house on that.
100%.
He'll have never come up against someone like that because he'll have been a bully. And you can tell that because technically he's not very good.
Look it now.
If he were technically good, he'd have scored when he got that chance, but yeah, he's clearly a bully, and it didn't work yesterday, did it? He were very poor, in my opinion.
No. The way they played, Mick, was... First of all, I like it. Me and Ben talked about it a lot yesterday. It's an enjoyable way, because it just keeps the game moving. Other than when they were taking set pieces, it were constantly forward and then backwards and then forwards and then backwards.
Yeah.
Which is just... It just keeps the game flowing, which actually suited us.
Yeah, it did. It did very much so. I'm not keen on it personally. That's just not. I'm not criticising it. I'm not critical of it because it's incredibly effective at times, and they've proved that this season. It's not particularly a style of football that I enjoy watching, but they're very, very good at it, and absolutely good luck to them. You know what I mean? And if that's a style we have to adopt to stay in this division, then so be it. I'm happy. You know. The ball's in the air far too much for me. I don't like it, but that's just, like I said, that's a personal opinion, isn't it? You know what I mean? There's no right or wrong way to play football. That you can't be snobby about it. You know, if it's getting you results, it's getting you results, end of, because it's all about the results, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's just... Aye. So, I'll quote, they've got a lot of positives to talk about in terms of performances, and we are going to come on to them. Because there's certain players, I want to talk about formation as well, but we can only talk about one incident, unfortunately. About 1 minute past 3, you tweeted that yesterday, Mick.
Just before that, yeah. It was just after kick-off, within seconds.
Mick tweeted out something along the lines of he's amazed that Johansson didn't turn up with a crash helmet on, bearing in mind the way Gavin Ward refereed the game against Preston. And then almost a minute later, Viktor Johanssen gets a damage to the eye socket, a black eye. Whether it's knocked out or not is basically irrelevant.
Fractured eye socket.
I haven't seen anywhere. I haven't seen Warney quoted as saying it's fractured. I said damaged. Now everybody else is the question, everything like that is taken. That must mean fractured. I may be corrected on that. I haven't seen from any official source that it's fractured. I hope to God it's not, because it's fractured. That's his season done. Anyway, and yeah, he got elbowed in the face. No, let's not try and beat around it. He got elbowed in the face by Carlton Morris. Completely by accident. There's no blame to Carlton Morris. I've seen the second tier podcast suggest he could have been sent off, and I suppose he could have been sent off by another referee. I wouldn't like to see a red card for that, but I've seen it given for less than that, i.e. Wednesday night. Ben, we're for once we're all in agreement. It was a horrendous decision, weren't it?
Yeah, I mean, I try and defend referees, but I mean that's pathetic, isn't it? He's weak-minded, is what it is, because he's gone to blow. Right?
Yeah.
And then pulled it away. I stood up and nearly walked away because I saw his whistle go to his mouth. So I was going to go and get something to eat. And next thing I know, screaming from the other room, is he counting? He's not even blue. It's like, I mean, I've seen the picture. I mean, I think the Cruxy one is a red card. I think that's a red card. He's jumped like this. Going football or not, he's jumped like that. Like, jumped like this is a red card, man. You can't do that. You've gone in my bad books, Carlton Morris, because it's perfect. He's done that on purpose. No, he's done what he's done there. He's jumped up to leave one in on him to let him know he's there for game. That's what he's done. So, lost my respect completely.
Fair enough.
There's a way of doing it. There's a way of doing it, and that's took it too far.
Fair enough. Mate, we've talked about this a lot over the past 24, 48 hours as of Monday morning. I've just put into words how you feel about that particular incident and then just the whole refereeing situation in the Championship.
I feel under a bit of pressure, actually, because I've had some direct messages on social media, so have you, on about looking forward to my rant about the referees and everything else. I feel under a bit of pressure to perform, and I can't. I can't think. We're 24 hours plus now, recording this 24 hours plus, I don't know, 30 hours after the game, and I still can't string a sentence together that doesn't have an expletive in it that aptly describes the way I feel about it. I'm utterly disgusted the fact that in the last two games that referee has officiated for us, our goalkeeper's come away with eye damage on both games, and no sanction's been taken.
Yeah.
No sanction's been taken. Indeed, what's happened is we've lost 2 goals as a result of it. The Preston game, that goal didn't matter, but that goal should never have happened because he should never have been on the pitch, because he should have been sent off for booting Viktor Johanssen in face. And yesterday's decision, let me rephrase that, yesterday's non-decision, I don't think I have ever seen in the however many years I've been watching football. I've been going to Rotherham United since I was 3. Obviously, I can't remember. But it's, I mean, you know, so we're talking 50 plus years I've been going to watch football, and I've never seen a decision like that in my life. I'm still staggered. My immediate reaction was, I shouted, "He's not giving it! He's not giving it!" And that is still my reaction. That's still all I can think of. I've seen the reaction. I've seen the video, the replays on Twitter and on social media. And that's my immediate reaction every time. He's not giving it. I can't believe it. He's not giving it. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. You know, and I feel for Warney. I feel for Warney, and I feel for his team, because, you know, he's come out and said what he said at the end of the game, which I'm sure at some stage we all think, you know, EFL are against us, everybody's against us. And when you look at it in the cold light of day, it's probably a really ridiculous comment. We've had Steve Evans say it in the past, you know, they don't want us in this league and all that. But then you go back and you look through that Twitter feed from the RUFC, and you just think, you know what? This is getting ridiculous now. This is getting utterly ridiculous. And we're in a relegation battle here with a team that's managed by one of England's most high-profile players ever, who will be a massive loss to the Championship because of his name and everything else. We've got a club that we're in a relegation battle with, who've got a board member on the EFL board. You've got all these things, and then you start to look at the decision processes that have gone against us just this week. Let's not even go back, you know, the rest of this calendar year. We're not even going to season because that it we'd have another 3 podcasts to go through just to discuss all the decisions that have gone against us. And I do fully accept that supporters from other clubs will say, what goes around comes around. We've all had these bad decisions. We've all had them. Referees are crap all week in, week out for everybody. And I fully agree with you. Fully accept that. But it just the way it feels at the moment after that yesterday was almost as if to say, you're going down. We are going to make sure you are going down. That's how it feels. And I know that's probably a bit immature. I know it's probably knee-jerk, and everything else. But that's genuinely how it feels at the moment. They just seem to be determined that we're going to go down. I mean, that is just incredible. It's absolutely incredible that can be allowed to happen on a football field. Absolutely incredible. And yet, who gives a monkeys? It's little old toy town. Who cares? You know what I mean? I don't know. As long as we keep good old Wayne in there, everybody's happy, aren't we?
Well, it depends who you ask. Stephen Warnock on Quest on the EFL show.
What does he know? What does he know? What does Stephen Warnock know about anything? Eh?
He's got an England cap, I think.
What did he find in the street? Or did he nick it off somebody? Because he's from Liverpool, isn't he? So he probably nicked it off somebody. I'm sorry. I've listened to Stephen Warnock. What an absolute clown! What a clown! I mean, with his quote 30 years ago, that would have been all right. Something like that.
It was something like that. Yeah.
Maybe, Mr. Warnock, if you are watching or listening, maybe you should check your calendar. Because it's not 1981 anymore, mate. It's 2021. Or even 1991, whatever you want. Whenever it is, I don't know when 30 years ago. I can't count it. But it doesn't matter, does it? What a stupid thing to say.
Yeah.
Nah. I'm sick of it. I am honest. I am. I'm really, really tired of it. Sorry, Ben.
I agree. Ben, I know what you're going to say, but there's been a lot of talk about. I think realistically, all deep down, we know that there's nobody out to get us. But you can understand why it's easy to feel that way. All you need to do is spend 3 minutes looking at the RUFC Twitter account and look at those multiple videos. It must be double figures now. And just start to think, well, I accept that we've made some mistakes by not finishing our dinner yesterday. But at the same time, this feels like our Swansea moment, from 2 years ago, when we lost 4-3 and one of those goals was handball and the couple of other incidents. It sort of feels like that moment where we just sort of go, what could we have done?
We could have done a lot. I agree with the bad decision. I'm not going to dispute that. I mean, if I ever dispute a decision like that, just shoot me dead because I don't deserve breathing oxygen and waste oxygen. I mean, I don't even know Stephen Warnock is England cap. What, under 19s, under 16s, under 12s? What? It can't be a serious cap, is it? But we could have done a lot more. But like you said, all these decisions and like that, if that doesn't fire you up as a player, like that should be just like on your wall in a frame somewhere. Do you know what I mean? You wake up and you see it every morning. Does that make sense? Or is
100%.
Do you know what I mean?
I think that's why Warney said what he said, partially. But basically, the people are out to get us. It's us against the world, basically. Because it's got to. You're right. It's got to start firing people up.
If it don't fire up, I don't know what will. I don't know what will. You know what I mean?
That incident needs to be on a permanent loop in changing rooms. It does, honestly.
Yeah, this is another thing as well, right? There is obviously playing football and doing stuff, right? But do you know if you're Freddie, why don't you leave one in on him? Do exactly what he did. And if you get sent off, say, well, listen. What's different? Because if you do that, right, then there's going to be a sanction from the EFL. It's impossible to not do it. I'm not for, like, when you lot were saying, oh yeah, I'm going to be the 3Z. I said, what point doing that, getting sent off and you won't be in the stand? If you do that as a Freddy and you get sent off or get booked and you say, well, what's the difference? And he ignores you, there's got to be some sort of sanction. It's impossible. If so, if there isn't, I'm starting to think the EFL is corrupt. I don't think they want us out of this division. I'm starting to think they're corrupt.
They are.
Like, no,
yeah, well,
allegedly,
we can't sell that.
I mean, I don't care. Listen, sue me. I've got the evidence.
Don't sue me,
I've got the
guys.
evidence. I've got evidence to prove it. Like, there's some strong evidence to prove that they are corrupt. Some very strong.
Right.
Everyone in, well, the other governing bodies in football are hardly, what's the word?
Angels.
Religious groups, are they? Yeah, hardly a group of, you know what I mean? Our group of priests are all. They are very corrupt. I worry for the future of football. I really do. I genuinely do. Not for Premier League. I don't care about Premier League. They can go and do it themselves. I've lost all my respect for a lot of Premier League clubs after the last week or so, or 6. But I've lost a lot of respect, and I will not watch that league anymore. But I fear for local football, Championship, League 1, League 2, National League. Because if the EFL, I mean,
they can't police themselves, can they? They can't police themselves, and this is the issue. This is why Matt Crooks' red card's not been overturned. It's nothing to do with the incident at all. I'll be very surprised if they've even looked at it. You know what I mean? I genuinely would. I've seen that Keith Hackett's come out and said he cannot understand what the panel have looked at and why it's not been overturned. Keith Hackett was the head of refereeing, I think, at one point. A very, very good referee in his time, paying it backside as well, to be honest. But nevertheless, and when you talk about is it or isn't it corrupt, well, we get no transparency, so we get no indication as to any decisions. Not only why they make the decisions, we don't even know what the decisions are. You know, they don't even tell anybody; they just get on with it. They cannot possibly. The only reason they've not overturned that is because they would have to sanction then the referee that made that gave that red card and the 3 others that they've already overturned. They would not be in a position to do anything other than sanction him. So therefore, that is corrupt. That in and of itself is corrupt. So you know, it's just well, it is what it is, isn't it? You've got no choice because it's a closed shop, isn't it? You know, you can't do anything at all.
That's the problem, right? Sorry to cut you off. I don't like players talking to referees and arguing. I just want to get on with it because we could have won that game yesterday, bar the decision or not, right? But Viktor Johanssen, there has got to be some sort of question of, do you have a personal problem
after the 2 games?
After the 2 games, there's got to be. I hate players screaming in referees' faces. I think you should get sent off for it. I think it should be a 3-4 game ban.
Yeah.
Right? But there's got to be a question. And I did see Johansson go up to him after the game, and I have no problem with it because it's 2 games where he could have ended his career as a keeper.
They could have lost an eye. He could have lost an eye in both incidents.
Ended his career. The line of where you have a go at referees is it endangering you for a long time? And that is life-changing. Life-changing.
Potentially, yeah.
And to not even acknowledge him as a referee is I can't even believe it. It's even
arrogant.
As a human being, like as a human being, you have to say, like, even if you say, listen, I'm sorry, I made a mistake both times, just say it. Don't ignore him. That incites on what person he is, because I have no respect for him as a person. None. I don't like him as a person. I ain't even met him. And you can tell what kind of man he is just from that. By not even acknowledging him, just pull him aside and say, listen, yeah, I might have made the wrong decision. Or if you believe in the decision you've made, tell him what you saw.
Explain it.
Because if you're confident in that decision, why would you have any problem telling anyone what you saw? If you're confident, isn't it? Just tell him what you saw. Because he must have. There's a thought process that must have gone through his head of, I've seen, like, you know what I mean? I've seen whatever. Then tell him. I've seen whatever. You know what I mean? He's got to have seen something that said that's not a red card. If so, tell Johansson that. Don't just walk away. Yeah. It's rude. He's rude, and I mean, he should lose his job for that. He's losing his job. If
that's any other industry, not only would he be sanctioned because of the original decision, he would have also been sanctioned for treating somebody like that. I can't think of a comparison.
Treating a colleague like that.
Yeah, effectively a colleague. Yeah, basically, yeah. And that's not. You can't do that. You would literally get sanctioned for that in your job. You would get a disciplinary investigation, whatever it may be. There would be consequences to what you're. Whether it's that you have to go on a course to understand how to deal with a person in the real world, you would have to go down certain routes. The problem is that's not going to happen. It'll probably be reffing again on midweek or at worst next weekend.
Yeah, well, definitely.
So the arrogance at the end back from the referee was astonishing. Astonishing should be the word. That should be the word we use to describe it. But it's not surprising in the least that that's how people think referees are from the outside. And then he does it. He plays up to the stereotype of a referee by being arrogant.
He knows he's going to be protected. He knows he'll be protected. He knows that the EFL will look after him. He does not have to offer an explanation to anybody. And anybody who complains about the fact that he's not offered an explanation will be sanctioned. Let that sink in for a minute, because that there is the basis for corruption. It is the basis.
No, it's the basis of a dictatorship.
Yeah,
obviously it's not a country. It's a dictatorship. That's what happens in countries like. Well, I'm not going to name and shame. You know who I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, but by the nature of a dictatorship, it is corrupt, and that's what we've got. That's what we have in football. At every level, you've got a dictatorship, and it's bizarre. And we just stand by and let it happen, and nobody moans about it.
Nobody can do anything.
3 points every other Saturday.
Well,
nobody can do anything because if somebody goes down the wormhole of corruption in football, they will get killed off. I think it genuinely goes off. What you've been saying here, you say that, right? You say that. Look how far it goes. It goes all the way to FIFA. Some people are still in federal prison for being corrupted at FIFA. Look how far it goes. The world. Right? Look how corrupt it goes. There will be no change. It said it's a dictatorship. No, I didn't kill that. That's an exaggeration. What happens when you challenge the leader of a dictatorship?
You go away.
Go away. I'm not saying you get killed off, whatever. There's still people in federal, I don't know if it's federal, prison, right?
Yeah, it's federal prison, yeah. America, yeah.
Federal prison. Just let that sink in. They're with killers, murderers. Look how deep it goes.
They'll be in the nicest federal prison ever, though, won't they? They're not going to be away.
It'll be in like Sweden or something where they have like pool tables and stuff like that. It won't be like
tennis courts and
all that stuff. Yeah. Prison. Yeah. One of them open prison, you don't have to go.
Yeah.
Well, if they like to play games in there, I hope they don't have to stick by any rules, because there's going to be nobody to play rules, is there?
No. Mick, this is a very wide question, but how do you fix that system? Because what we're currently saying is that these referees are performing to the best of their ability because they've had the training. So
they're not,
that must, but they must be, because
no, they're not. No, they're not. No, I'm not having that. I'm not wearing that. I'm definitely not wearing that. I'm not. Because if that's the case, let's pop out to Stubbing on a Sunday morning, pick a couple of 15-year-old lads that come out and referee there because they are better. They are better. So I'm not having that. I'm not wearing the fact that these people are performing to the best of their ability. These people are performing at a level where they know that it doesn't matter what decisions they make. It doesn't matter. They can just do whatever they like because they will be protected. They won't be sanctioned and they will be protected. They can do as they please. So they don't have to perform to any level. They prove it week in, week out. week in, week out, they prove it. There is no way that these people are ever going to get sacked. It's just that I'm not having the fact that they do the best. I can't believe when you look at certainly the last 2 games that we've had, but across the Championship, every week, if you're telling me that every single one of these people are performing to the best of their ability, wow. No, I'm not having it, mate. I'm not having it. They don't need to. Sorry, what question?
How would you fix it? Because let's assume there isn't just an endless pit of fantastic referees just below that they can't pick on. So how do you fix it? System is it fixable without you have to tear it down and start again?
I think you've got to tear it down and start again. I think you've got it's root and branch reform of the whole of football, isn't it? It's just gone so far now that it's out of control. It's out of control, isn't it? As this European Super League thing has shown, you know, and now we're talking about these clubs are not going to get sanctioned because it would upset the fans and players, you know. It's out of control, mate. And I don't see a way of fixing it. I genuinely don't. You'd have to disband the FA. You'd have to disband all the national associations, the EFL, and start again from scratch. Because the way that these organisations have been built up over the years with the rules and all the sort of regulations that they have in place, and you know all the structures that's in there. It's just. I don't know. I don't think it can ever be. I think it's just going to continue to go downhill until it just disappears and implodes. I do honestly. I think football's not dead at the moment, but I don't know how far it's going to go.
You say that what's happened in the past week or two, it seems like it really is. It seems like it is.
It's under threat. I don't think there's a doubt that football's under threat, but at the same time, last season we weren't having these conversations. And you know about the referees, we might have mentioned it once or twice. We might have had a decision or two which should have gone the wrong way. Should have gone the other way, sorry. But I can't really remember many last season where I came away from a game absolutely seething because of a decision. I came away a lot of times because of how Rotherham played at home last season, because our home form was bang average. But I can't recall in League One last time before, it's quite a long time ago now, but when in my head, when I think of a bad decision, it's the Championship. It's this league that is the problem, and that's bizarre. That obviously shouldn't be the case. We should have the second best lots of referees in the country. We clearly don't in the Championship.
I know. I think that's some. There's a few. Jared Gillett comes to mind of a good referee.
Yeah.
There is a few good referees.
Oh, I'm not talking
more
bad
ones than good ones. There's more bad than good, but there is a few. We just don't. Jared Gillett, I'm sure everyone's seen the mics up of him. He's a class referee. He'll be in the Premier League, so we will lose him to the Premier League because he's good.
You said that, but who did he ref against us recently? And he just kept getting every soft foul.
He is, I think he's good enough for Premier League. I mean, he's better than someone in there.
He does the VAR for the Premier League. It does VAR sometimes.
I mean, that's more important. I don't get that. How are you able to VAR but not referee? VAR is more important, in my opinion. But that's another conversation.
But it's a very different conversation.
But there is some good referees.
Yeah, I agree. So, positives. Because there were plenty of positive performances. I thought Freddie played okay. I thought the standout, and I think the guy who did win man of the match, Mick, from the official website, was Chio. And I said to you, 5 minutes into the game, and it proves to be right, Chio's backing it.
Yeah, he is. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And it's brilliant, I love it.
And to be fair, you know, he's found a new little place, hasn't he, for him?
Yeah.
And either playing up front as a right side of a front three, or even through middle. I mean, he was playing all over the pitch when he were
everywhere, wasn't he?
And wow, what a welcome return that is. Probably 2 or 3 games too late, to be fair. But yeah, I thought he was outstanding cheer yesterday, and he is going to get better. He is going to get better because he's still clearly not quite up to the level that he was before. So yeah, I'm really impressed with Chio yesterday, definitely.
If he could find back at net, then he'd be a striker.
I think everyone needs to just chill out.
Yeah,
it's been one game.
Yeah,
he could tear.
Definitely.
He could tear the meniscus.
Of course,
so I think everyone should chill out. He's not back. It's been 90 minutes.
He's back.
He played well. He played amazing. Right? Do it till the rest of the season. Then he's back. You can't judge a football off 90 minutes. We know he could have been voided up. He probably wasn't. 99% he wasn't. But he could have. So I wouldn't say he's back yet. All right.
Just let me have it.
I'm letting you know. He's not back. Just let it be.
Chuck him a scrap, Ben. Come on.
3 games is enough. 3 games is the minimum to judge someone, I think.
Yeah, so we've got no more Johansson to love on the pitch because he's probably going to be out for minimum Tuesday, maybe out for season. Give me somebody else on pitch that we can just love for what he does and how he does it. Chio's the man.
I mean, it was good. It was quality yesterday, but it's been 1 game since that. But yeah, it was good.
The formation, Ben. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, go on. Finish that.
I'd say it was going to be best. It was best player on the pitch for me.
Yeah. I agree. The formation, Ben. We obviously played 3 at back. Giles was definitely playing wing back. Wing and McDonald were definitely in the central midfield. Everybody else, I'm not quite sure. It looked like Jamie Lindsay were at right wing back, and then it looked like we were playing 3 up top. So we're almost a 3-2-2-3.
Yeah, no, 3-2-2-2, 3-2-2, 3-2-3. No, that adds up to 8.
Do either of you two need a calculator?
3-2. It was like a 3-3-3, 3-3-4, 3-4-3.
There weren't 4 strikers.
I don't even know.
3-4-3. 3-4-3 is the closest we're going to get to.
3-4-3.
With Jamie Lindsay as a right wing back, yeah.
I think it was probably different. I think it was one of them where it's different in possession, different out of possession. One of them, so I don't think it was a set formation. But I enjoyed it. I mean, it was one of them. I think it was the best formation to play, not to have anybody really out wide on the right because it weren't going in wings. Let's be real, it was going to be 50 metres in there. So there's no point. No point saying all this attacker. Oh, you attack it. It's just going to be an English game of football. That's probably what the game on Christmas Day at World War were like. Do you know what I mean? But,
yeah.
So, yeah. Yeah, I'm interested to see how it does again on Tuesday. I'll move ahead. Any final thoughts on Saturday, Mick?
I should have won 4-1.
Yeah, we should have done.
No, we shouldn't. We should have won 4-0.
4-1. I said this to Mick the other day. Oh, I can't remember when I said it earlier, right? There's certain things that you can't control, right? Refereeing decisions is one of them. They should have had a goal disallowed. He should have been sent off. Yeah, I think. Things that we can control is Smithy missing, Chio missing from 6 yards out, Freddie missing from 6 yards out, who is a natural goal scorer. I'm not criticising. I'm just saying.
When you put in air marks, that's a criticism.
Well, do you ever see a natural goal scorer do that? I'm just saying.
I'm sure Shearer's missed some sitters.
Who?
I'm sure Shearer's missed some sitters and Henry missed some sitters. Oh, absolutely. Freddie's got a chance to make up for Alan.
Yeah.
In other games.
But yeah, Alan Shearer never had to do it in a relegation battle, realistically. But did he?
Probably not.
Yeah, I can't remember who else missed. Who else missed?
Just Anthony.
Smith should have missed in the first half.
Yes, that's true.
Where he got crossed in. So yeah.
The final positive, and I think it's important to point this out, is Hurst. George Hurst came on around the hour mark, and his work rate was top notch, Mick. Yeah. And if with a bit of luck at the end, he could have had a goal.
Yeah, I thought that I went off my chair at that point. I thought that was going in. I thought that was going to be the season's turning point. He played well, and I'm pleased. I am pleased for him. I know we've been critical of him, and continue to be critical of him when he don't put the performances in. But I'm pleased. I'm pleased he played well, and I hope he does get us a goal before the end of the season. And then next season, I hope that he gets a move to a League One club. and get some 90 minutes in at a decent level. Well, it might be us. Yeah, he might be back with us next season. Who knows? But yeah, he played all right. It was quite positive, weren't it? Yeah, quite positive.
Moving on to Tuesday, Ben, and keeping with Hurst. Bear in mind, Freddie got pulled up after an hour, and he didn't look particularly tired. And where Hurst came on and put himself around, I'm not saying Freddie played badly, but I think Hurst had more of an impact on the game in terms of work rate. How tempted would you be to give Freddie a week off and rest, and say to Hurst, right, 4 games left, you've got Smithy Weir, potentially Chio as well. There's going to be space for you. You're going to get a chance. This is your moment to do it. How tempted would you be?
I won't give Freddie a rest. I won't give anyone a rest at this point because it's the last week. I won't give anybody a rest. But that being said, I wouldn't start him. What I mean by not giving him a rest is he'd be in training every day.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I didn't mean that way.
But, yeah, I think he should start. I mean, the work rate I saw from him yesterday, I didn't see from anyone else apart from Woody, realistically. I said Woody nearly scored. He had a chance, putting himself about, getting involved. And I said to you, I didn't see no one else doing that. And it's not even skill. It's just one. It's just like, where's the ball? Where's the ball? You know what I mean? Just doing everything you can to get the ball and trying to score. No one else even did it. No one else. I'm not tired, whatever. Woody's 36. 36. Let that settle in. 36. He's old enough to be my dad. Think that. Just let that settle in. All right? He's old enough to be my dad, and he's doing that. So nobody else has no excuse, no valid excuse. They don't.
Oh, that's fine. I agree. So, Ben would start Hursty. A few of the stats part of the game. We've lost our last 4 games against Brentford. The last time we won was in 2016, August 2016. And why was that win special, Nick? Do you know?
No.
It was the only game that Alan Stubbs won while in charge at Rotherham United.
Was it really?
It was.
There you go.
We're not mentioning that name anymore.
Not special. Really.
No, not really. We're going to assume we're going to be without Johansson this season. Certainly for Tuesday. If he got concussion, under the concussion protocol, I think it certainly will be out for Tuesday. But obviously, Warney will confirm that in his pre-match, I suspect. We've only won 4 games without Johansson this season, Ben. And I know it's easy to look at those stats and say, well, you could make a stat out or anything, but that feels like quite a telling stat that when Johansson's not there, we don't win that many.
What I would say is if Blackman starts that game, we don't concede. Because Johansson gets to that ball. Blackman gets to that ball.
We had a conversation, didn't we, yesterday?
Blackman either gets to that ball or he has no option to give it. Because he'll catch it and then drop it. And if he...
Just going to be height, though, isn't it?
Because of his height, yeah. I thought he played well when he came on. He let him know he weren't timid, which it would have been easy to be, given what happened, and their reputation, as it seems. I mean, I don't know how they've got that reputation, being big, strong, and physical, but that's a different conversation. But yeah, I have no worries. I don't really blink an eye at it. I think he's good enough.
Yeah,
I do agree with you. I don't think I had many saves to make, if any, but his kicking was really good yesterday. Blackman. If there were any that went straight out of play, I can't remember them, but I'm sure there was maybe one.
But McDonald fizzed it into him on his left foot, so it's like, what do you expect? Yeah.
We ain't got a choice but to play Backlund now. You're not going to throw Vickers in, who's not played all season. You're not going to throw him in the last 4 games of the season. That'd be stupid. So as things stand, Blackman's our man. Probably for the rest of the season, unless he makes a mistake, they'll probably keep the shirt no matter what happens with Johansson. I would have thought now. It's going to be an interesting game, Mick, Tuesday. Brentford. Obviously, when we played him at home in December live on Sky, they were the darlings of Sky Sports.
Leeds United.
The Leeds United of this season. That hasn't panned out. They've got 3 games left and promotion has already been secured by the top 2, which should be a source of massive disappointment for Brentford. Bearing in mind where they finished last season, they've brought in Ivan Toney, they spent a lot of money. But I think I've figured out where their problem is, Mick. They've been beaten in 9 games, which sounds really good. They've only won 3 of them out of 9 games. And that's, number one, that's not going to get you promotion automatically. And number 2, I know this is on a different topic, the chances are that's not going to win you promotion through playoffs either, is it?
No, it's not. I think what's happened at Brentford is that they've seen how bad Derby have been for the last 2 seasons. They decided to take over the mantle of bottlers, haven't they? Somebody's got to bottle it every season. There's always one bottler. Brentford took it last season. It looks like they've took it this season as well, because with the quality that they've got in their squad, they should be going up certainly ahead of Watford. No question about that. And potentially, but ahead of Norwich as well, because Norwich can't stay on the feet. Half of Norwich players can't stay on the feet for 90 minutes. Whereas in my experience, my sort of memory, Brentford don't seem to be particularly one of those sorts of sides. They're a good footballing side. So yeah, they've taken over the mantle of bottlers, haven't they? But I think there's 1 point separates all 4.
It's close.
All 4 teams in the playoffs. And now there's nothing to play for now that Reading are not in there, which is fantastic news. I'm really pleased about that. Genuinely pleased about that. Not for the Reading supporters. I feel for Reading supporters, genuinely do. But I'm going to keep my fingers crossed well and truly that puts Reading into administration. I hope it does. I genuinely hope it does, because they deserve it as a club, or the owners of that club, in my view. So yeah, I mean, they're going to be vying for position, aren't they, within that playoff race? But does it really matter whether you finish where you finish, whether you finish 3rd or 6th? There's no home advantage. It's just a question of who you fancy playing first.
But you can't control it. Even if you win all your games, you still don't control your play, do you?
Yeah, absolutely. So my view is, rest your players. Put juniors out, don't matter, does it?
It is really close. I know this is not Robin's fight, but Brentford are on 3rd on 78 points. Bournemouth, Swansea and Barnsley are all on 77 points.
They've got a game in hand, though.
Which is tomorrow.
Yeah, which is...
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. They've got one of the best English strikers at the minute, certainly outside the Premier League. The best striker outside the Premier League, arguably better than a lot of Premier League strikers in the Premier League, Ivan Toney. He has come on significantly from last season. When he was at Peterborough last year, he looked like a goal scorer. It didn't look like he had that much else to his game, certainly in the games we played against him. But every time I watch Brentford this season, Ivan Toney is at the heart of absolutely everything that they do, which is good for Ivan Toney. Yeah. For Brentford, that's a huge worry that they're going to be so reliant on one player. That's why they are where they are.
He may well not play. He may well not play on Tuesday night.
He'll be on bench, won't he?
You would have thought
probably.
So. We'll have to wait and see.
They are without their captain. Pontus Jansson got sent off for Brentford against Bournemouth. So that's a bit of a plus. Pontus, their captain. A big lad as well. It's not necessarily the captain part of them. He's a key member for them because he adds that bit of physicality to that team who are not particularly strong. So it's been interesting to see how that lines up. Which actually, again, that should suit us. Will it suit us? We'll find out. Ben, positive news. We're going to end on some positive stuff. You think we can stay up still?
Oh, without doubt. Without a doubt.
Explain your confidence.
There's no more to be said. Look at Derby. Look who's around us. Look who is around us. Look at Derby. Listen, no offence against Derby supporters, right? You are crap. You deserve to be in League One. After the financial gambles that you took past few years, you deserve to go down and suffer. In my opinion. But that's not how life works, is it? They'll stay up, we'll go down because we followed the rules and done it legally, so we'll get punished because that's how football works. But I mean, 4 points, 2 games in hand. They lose, we win. That's serious pressure. I don't even mean tomorrow. We both lose tomorrow. And then we
Well, they're not
is one
playing
of our
tomorrow.
games in hand. Is one of our games in hand tomorrow?
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah.
Yeah, Tuesday tomorrow, yeah.
We win tomorrow, they'll bottle. It's Derby County, for God's sake. They'll bottle. We need a win and a draw, right? A win and a draw. Look who the teams in this division. We think, and look, we've got to play. You think we can't get a win and a draw more than Derby?
The worry is that they play Piggers last day of the season, who will probably be relegated. And what would they like to do? They can say they don't care about little or Rotherham all they want. But if they end up relegated, it'll be the reason we get relegated. They won't let us forget it, will they?
What if we win?
We wouldn't at Derby and Wednesday down. That'd be one of the best seasons. Can you imagine? We've done double over at Piggers, we've done double over Derby, and then we send them both down. Mate, that'd be.
Listen, I would pay all my money and everything I've got and be homeless to be a player. Just right now to be one of them players. Because to get a win and a draw, this is what you live for. None of them will ever have a situation like this again 9 times out of 10. They have to realise the reality of the situation and realise the situation and realise in 50 years when they're old and grown and they look back on this, like they will look back at this and realise what has happened. Do you know what I mean? Realise the situation of it. And I mean, that's why you play football, innit? Just to have memories. And if you can't do it, and you don't, like, if you can't do it, can't do it. But it's not me.
Ben points out Ben points out a very valid point there, Mick. And I go back to my early days of watching football. That Ronnie Moore team who survived in the Championship for those 3 years will live long in my memory forever. I will never forget those 3 years. And you're obviously same as that, but also you can go back to the early 80s of that team that stayed up in the old second division and challenged and had those couple of years. This is what we're talking about in terms of Rotherham United, that if these guys manage to stay up, they will be remembered.
Yeah, they will. They will. It would be a massive achievement. It's a massive achievement to have even got there in first place. Let's be fair. Because times are so different now to what they were even to the last time we were in Championship, let alone back when Ronnie were playing. The game is completely different, both on the pitch, but mainly off the pitch, and the politics and everything else that goes with that off the field situation makes it far more difficult now for clubs like Rotherham United. Far more difficult because of the inequality within the league and between different clubs, but that part of it is coming on to roost, isn't it? So, but yeah, it would be a massive achievement to be able to get out of this, particularly bearing in mind the run that we've just had. You know, a couple of extra wins out of those two, that horrible run that we've just had, and we'd be out of it. We wouldn't even be having this conversation.
No.
So
we talk about being really safe, won't we?
But there's it's not over, not by any stretch of the imagination. It's not over, but I just worry. I can't. After the last 2 games, I mean, even before the last 2 games, but certainly after the last 2 games, I just worry that things are going to conspire against us one way or another.
You mean like missed chances?
Yeah. Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. Things like
not taking our chances,
and couple that with the incompetence of the people who are in charge of games and whatever other politics are at play behind the scenes as well, if there are any. That a combination of all those things. I think that's
a poor excuse if we were down.
Well, listen. Yeah, you're probably right, Ben. You're probably right, and I can't. I am struggling myself to even think that I'm actually saying things like that, and it is probably nonsense. And the bottom line is, one of those things has to go right. The one thing that we can control, and it doesn't matter what anybody else does. It doesn't matter about anything else. We take our chances. We stay up. End of.
Agreed. But on the referee on Tuesday is Michael Salisbury. The last time, have you got this, Mick?
No, you've got it.
Okay. I know that name.
You know Graham Salisbury. which is fine. He was the one at Scunthorpe a few years ago who played about 15 minutes worth of injury time. If you recall, nearly cost us the game. This was Michael Salisbury. The last time he has only left us once this season, and that was the 3-0 win away to Middlesbrough in January. So again, from what I can recall, it was a very nothing game. There wasn't even a booking in that game. So the last two referees we've got into it thinking, oh my God, they've got this guy again because of what they've done to us. Is we've got no history with this guy. So let's hope we don't start making any history with him on Tuesday evening, 7 o'clock kickoff, I think it is, as always. Yeah. Live on Sky because, well, I don't know. Well, there's not a promotion seal sewn up.
I was going to say, it's only interesting.
Playoffs sewn up. Yeah. Championship, the winning the league in the Premier League's done. The relegation in Premier League's done. There's not much else to talk about, so yeah. Let's hope we come back on here for Friday morning, and we'll have a beautiful 3 points to talk about. Even a point.
Even if we lose, I'm positive we'll stay up.
I like positivity, mate.
Even if we lose,
I think even a point's a good result if we can gain ground on them in that game. You've got to bear in mind that goal difference is better.
A point. If we get a point, it's coming down to the last game of the season. If we get a point.
I agree. I completely agree.
When do we have that game in
time?
Will it be 45-45? Like playing 45 both of us?
Yeah. So we're on 43, they're on 44.
That is what you live for as a football fan. That's just what you live. Imagine being at the ground, like everyone's on the phone. I remember a few years ago when we were already down, and I think we were playing Blackburn. We were playing Blackburn, and we were playing. They were rivaling someone who were in the relegation battle, and they were just celebrating. And it's just like, I miss the thing, man. Because if we were at that game, is it at home? My last game of the season?
No, we're at Cardiff.
Which we'd have been to anyway. We'd have been at that game anyway.
We'd gone to that. But we're on a step in the right direction. Fans getting back to the ground. I think we are going to finish because we've gone on. But today, as we record on Sunday, we had 8,000 fans at Wembley Stadium for the Carabao Cup final. I think there's 20,000 scheduled for the FA Cup final, and then obviously you've got plenty planned for the Euros at Wembley in the summer as well. So everything's in the step in the right direction. They haven't confirmed that yet, but hopefully it will be full capacity for the knockout stages of the tournament.
That's going to be very weird watching that on
television. It was so good watching the City game today, and the game itself, second half, were awful. But when City scored, there was actual crowd noise. It wasn't piped in or fake. It was actual crowds, and then they were singing songs that are not just generic songs that Sky Sports has just got in a loop. It was strange, but it was brilliant. So hopefully, August time, July time for pre-season friendlies, we'll be able to get back in there. I can't wait to get back in. Anyway, we're kind of bambling on here. Yeah. Please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. We've passed the 200 subscriber marks. Have been piling there. We would very much appreciate that. We'll be back on Friday morning for the review of the Brentford game, looking ahead to Blackburn on Saturday. As well, it's getting serious now, boys and girls. It's getting properly serious. So, thank you very much, Michael.
Oh, you're very welcome.
And thank you very much, Benjamin.
You're welcome.
And we'll see you all for a very happy, hopefully, very happy Friday afternoon or morning chat. Thank you very much. We'll see you very